Been sat here for the past 45 minutes trying to think of a video idea, trying to think of something I could say, something I could talk about, and then I just thought to myself, I'm just gonna sit here and talk, and you can listen to my yap and you can switch off if you can't be fucking bothered, but either way I'm gonna yap away. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked because my sister just sent me a picture of our dog and her ear is standing up on its own. Aww. So I used to do this thing back in my old YouTube videos. Whenever I would start a video, I would go and I would then start the video. I don't know why I did that, but I used to think it was like a good hook and like it would get people to like get a good idea of me, you know, like I'm a 12-year-old that drinks coffee, I'm not like other girls kind of thing. It's so funny because I thought that was the reason why people would watch my videos and not the fact I was 12. And by that I mean there was a lot of paedophiles that were in my DMs, trust. It was so weird. I used to have this guy that used to like obsessively email me. Wait, this is such a fun story. There was this guy that used to email me when I was probably like, I was like 13, he used to email me every day with like these strangest questions that you do not ask a 13-year-old. And I would respond to him and I'd be like, hey, I'm 13, if you don't stop emailing me, I am getting the police involved. In the end, I figured you could actually block someone's email. I didn't realise you could do that, so I ended up blocking his email. And then out of interest a couple of years ago, so at this point I would have been about 19, I was like, oh, I wonder if he's ever like emailed me since. So I go into the like blocked emails. He has still been emailing me since. So I've been like in his email lineup for the past solid like 6-7 years. What I'm gonna say is I've never had a man so devoted to me before, okay, except this man is probably a paedophile.
Good evening, paedophile.
So, you know, you win some, you lose some. It gets interesting, okay, so I realised he actually followed one of my family members and I was like, what the fuck? And then this is when it gets weird, okay. Not the place I work at now, but the place I worked at before. It was a design agency and someone applied for a role at the company and they had the exact same name as me. Okay, so because I'm probably borderline autistic, I had to try and find out how many people actually have my name. So I asked ChatGPT to give me a good idea of how rare my name actually is, and it says about 2,900 people in England have the last name Packham, whereas the name Louis, it's a common popular name throughout England and Wales. But if you put the two together, it's a rare combination together. And it says that roughly about 1 to 3 people named Louis Packham are living in England at any given time. So it's very, very unlikely that 2 Louis Packhams would be in the same town at the same time. So I had a stalker. They applied for the job that I worked at, which again, red flag. And I was like who would do this? Like, this is such a weird thing to do, to apply for a job with the exact same name as me. So that would have meant there would have been 2 Louis Packhams working at the same place. Like, it could have been a massive coincidence, but my mind immediately thought of him. And that's why I then went to check my emails and I went to check everyone's Instagram following, because I just had a feeling that he would have gone that far. But no, it's a very, very weird situation and I kind of forgot about it actually until that moment. That's the weird traction I got from being on social media a lot younger. I think when I look at myself when I was like 12, 13 and I had all the social medias, tricky one, because there's a lot of people saying like, oh, they shouldn't have social media. And I'm on the fence about it, because I'm like, I kind of agree. Like, kids nowadays are so easily influenced by social media. If they see something that they think is real, then they're going to believe it and there's going to be no false things about it. I do the exact same thing. Thankfully I work in graphic design, so I'm quite good with spotting out AI and I can tell when something's AI, but there has been a few times recently where I cannot tell when it's AI. There was actually a video of a kangaroo at border there was actually a video of a kangaroo at border control and I fully believed it. I was like, oh yeah, that is so real. Like, there is absolutely no way in hell that, like, you know, that wouldn't be real. It was AI. But I don't know why it didn't cross my mind that a kangaroo was at border control. I'm on Tinder right now, okay, and I just matched with someone and I complimented him and he put thank you, snap, question mark. We are in our 20s. When I'm on Tinder or like Hinge or something and someone's like, oh, do you have any socials? I'll be like, yeah, Instagram. Like, I would rather talk to you on Instagram than Snapchat. Snapchat just makes me feel like I'm in year 7 again. You got Snap? I would actually prefer them to give me their number, which usually they don't because they see it as like catfishy. But I'm like, I don't know, I'm like, I would actually prefer to talk to you on like WhatsApp or iMessage than like give you my socials, because I will forget about you in no time. And not even in a mean way, it's just I only really go on Snapchat to speak to like 2 of my friends. You know, everyone else is elsewhere. It's kind of fate that basically last night, okay, I had like a full-on 12-hour sleep. I said to myself last night, I was like, your camera's arriving tomorrow, so you can have one night of playing Dress to Impress, and then after that point, shit's getting serious, okay? I want a video pretty much every other day. Like, you're getting serious with this. And I laid in bed and my best friend said we can start playing at 10, and I thought, perfect. Got an hour till then, I'll just chill, maybe a little power nap. I slept for 12 hours. I woke up at 4 and I was like, this is weird. I was like, why am I awake at 4? I'm very confused right now. Check my phone and my dad had messaged me like 2 times, but I hadn't seen his message. And one of the messages was like, are you having Nessa? And I was like, Nessa's not in my room. By the way, Nessa's my dog and I never really sleep without Nessa in my room. So it was very weird when I woke up and she wasn't in my room. I was like looking around, I was like, where's my kid? I thought my jelly cat was Nessa. This looks exactly like Nessa. So I was like why is she not in my room? Like, I'm really confused right now. And then out of guilt and like kind of concern, I'm gonna check is she in the living room just in case. The idea of leaving my dog downstairs by herself breaks my heart. Even when I go out and I'm like walking back home at 2 o'clock, they always leave Nessa in the living room for me because she then comes up to bed with me. You know, if there was ever a time where I was lucky enough to bring someone home, I would be like, can you go home please, because Nessa's on her own and she needs to come upstairs and you need to go home. I'm like, when I like eventually get into a relationship, is Nessa gonna be an issue? Like, is Nessa being in the bed gonna be an issue? Like, is he gonna be like, can you please just let your dog go downstairs and sleep on the bed on her own? I'd be like, but that's just not happening. There is absolutely no way in hell I would ever leave my dog to sleep downstairs on her own. I keep getting like heavily distracted, but one thing that I do have to share, a little dating hack. I didn't realise on Hinge you can change your location, so I've been doing like a UK tour. Right now I'm in Bristol. I'm not in Bristol, but like right now on Hinge I'm in Bristol. And the Bristol men have so much rizz, it's absolutely insane. Whereas when I was just stuck in where I live, I was getting no likes and I was thinking, well, I'm an ugly bastard then, aren't I? I'm just an ugly bastard. I've been to Bristol, I've been to Manchester, I've been to Ipswich. Like, I've been doing the full-on tour and I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun. Once in my life I actually feel quite attractive. Actually, on the note of feeling attractive, one thing I do not feel attractive about is I posted a reel on Instagram and it got 1 million views, which made me feel very famous, and it got over 140,000 likes, but I only got about 20 followers from it. Like, if I had a really like strong face card, I know for why I would have got like a good 1,000 followers from that. But nah, a minimal amount of followers. Humbling reality, hot people have it so easy and it's so unfair. Does anyone ever wish they could like fast forward their career to a point in their lives where, like, so for example now, with this career, if I could just fast forward to a point where I have a podcast, okay, and like my job is just waking up, filming my day, doing a little podcast sesh, going to sleep, waking up the next day, doing the same thing again. Oh, what's the day today? Oh, I've got a premiere. Fuck's sake. You know, get a nice fancy suit on. What you wearing, Hugo Boss? Like, if that could be my life, that is the life I'm manifesting for myself. Let's do a little manifestation sesh. I am manifesting the reality where I wake up every single day with the intention to film myself for the entire day and make shitloads of money from it whenever I post on YouTube. I also manifest the life where I can just casually wake up and be like, oh shit, I've got a premiere today, better go to that. That is a life I'm manifesting for myself, and I can see it in such close reality, and it's going to be there very, very soon. Hell yeah. When I have like a thought that I need to manifest, I have to manifest within the moment, and that was one of those moments. So I'm glad I could share that with you today. Today is actually a really good day today because I bought this camera, and I've never filmed on like a proper vlogger's camera before. Like, I've been filming on my, let me get my old camera actually. I feel like I need a demonstration. Do you like my pajamas? So this is my old camera. This is a Nikon Coolpix S9-100. It's so sad calling it my old camera now because realistically I'm not going to use her as much. The thing that I really do like about her is she has this kind of old-timey feel. Like, this is why I loved her so much for the time that she was my camera, because every single picture I've taken on Instagram using this camera has always been such a high quality, clean camera. Like, I say it's my old camera, but I still think I would use it. Like, same as I would use this camera to take pictures and stuff, but I've not actually taken any Instagram pictures on this new camera. But this one, I just don't know if I can let her go yet. As like I don't think I can replace her. I'm like, I have a really bad attachment issues to objects that kind of don't really serve me no purpose anymore if I've got a newer version. But you know, she's an old girl. She's from like 2010 or something. So to just kind of push her to the side doesn't feel right. But do you know what? Really interesting fun fact. So today when I was sorting this camera out, I had to like play around with some settings to get it to look professional basically. And I've never done this on this camera. I would always complain that this camera is too dark and that the shutter speed was too slow and that this was too slow. And I'm like, if I watched a YouTube video, I could probably just fix all of those things and it would have been like a new camera, because the quality is genuinely really fucking good. But it comes to a point where like I would have never got this level of quality on it, you know. But the Nikon Coolpix S9100, I love these so much, and I'm not going to be getting rid of you anytime soon. There we go, you can see it in all its glory. And I actually have 3 cameras. I've got, no 4, I've got this camera, then I've got a Camp Snap, got this camera, and I've got, what's she called? I don't know what camera she is, but she's a Sony camera. She's like a camcorder one. And she was the first video camera I ever got because my parents bought me one for, was it my birthday or Christmas? I want to say Christmas, potentially. And it would be really interesting to film a video on that camera because I can't remember if it was really good quality or if it was really shit. Should we find out? Let's look at one of my old YouTube videos. I remember when they bought me the camera, it was around the time that iPhone cameras were getting quite good. So I don't think I used it that much because then the quality of iPhone cameras kind of overtook that. It's just so cute when I look back at my old self. I'm like, he's doing the same thing that I'm doing now, you know. I talk the same now. Like, obviously my balls have dropped, but like, oh, I used to love that audio. I need to get back into my vlogging era. If I had a good camera, if I had a really good camera back then, I would have been thriving. I think this is why I'm like, now I'm so like invested in getting the best quality of everything, because back then, if I had the best quality camera and the best lighting, I feel like I would have gone far. But I spent my pocket money on like ridiculous things. I never actually saved up, and I still can't save up now as a 21-year-old. I told myself that I would start saving when my Invisalign payment stopped, and that was about 4 months ago, and I don't even have a savings account. I just think, like at this day and age, I'm 21, and yes, I want to move out and I want to do all these things on my own, but I can't afford to. I can't afford to move out. I can't afford to have my own house. I can't afford to, I mean, I don't even drive and I don't want to drive, but even if I did want to drive, I wouldn't be able to afford to, you know, pay out for a decent enough car that would survive. I'd have to get a shitty little thing to drive around in because the insurance is way too expensive on things now. And I would be limiting myself so much by actually wanting to do these things, and I would have no money. I wouldn't be able to buy a camera to further my career, for example. So I feel like I'm in a little bit of a mixed thing of like, do I start saving or do I just continue spending as I am until I get to a point in my life where I'm like, no, I should start saving now. Because realistically, I know I can save enough money for like a deposit for a flat if I was to start renting within no time. But saving for like a mortgage, not even gonna fucking bother. I'm not even gonna put myself through the stress of it really until I'm like old enough that I'm like, okay, maybe I do want to own my own house, you know? But as for now, I'm focused on the idea of renting a place, you know? I'm happy enough with that. There's one final thing I want to talk to you about today, which I actually made today, was I made a full-on photo album of my life in the past sort of 2 years today, because I feel like when I grow up and I might have kids, for example, those kids will want to see pictures of my life when I was younger. Well, I hope so. And I was thinking to myself, I don't really have any printed photos that I could show them. I only have my phone, and I don't really want my kids looking at my phone. By then, iCloud will still be a thing, hopefully. So all of the photos will be on there, but I have such random junk on my phone that it would take me too long to find the photos. So I kind of selected my favourite photos from the year, like from the past couple of years. That I've tried to like make it as chronological order as possible. I guess my plan is that my kids will look at this and be like, oh, my dad had such a fun life, you know, when he was 20, when he was 21, and it's like got all my 21st birthday and pictures of their granddad wearing a rainbow fluffy hat, you know, like all those things that I wouldn't have even found on my phone in 20 years time if I had a fucking kid by then. Jesus Christ. That's such a moggy picture of me. That was when I had a tan in Egypt. Bring that tan back, honestly. Bring it back. Bring it back now, y'all. This is when I was like proper Princess Diana-ing. I got called Princess Diana too much and it was kind of starting to hurt. Nice to just have a physical thing that I can look through from time to time. Maybe, you know, as winter's coming and it's like there's less opportunities to go out and do things, I can look back for it and be like, no, you have actually a really fun life. Like, you need to be grateful, you know. It's just nice to look through it. And yeah, It's just lovely, it's just absolutely lovely. That is also partly the reason why I've kind of invested in cameras a lot recently, because the idea of having a phone to take pictures is great, but I know that I will never ever look at those pictures again. It might be a one-time thing and then I just don't care about them. Whereas with a camera, I'm very mindful about looking through those pictures, and you know, like, you know when like you have your SD card and you put it into your camera and you go to take a picture and then you might accidentally go back on the menu and then it's like, it takes you back to like a picture from like a year ago and you're like, fucking hell. And then you just have a little flick through. Like, those are the things I like to do. And it's why I invest a lot in cameras, to remember those moments, because I know that I won't remember it on my phone. But anyway, I think that's enough yap for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, then drop a comment, like the video, subscribe, do all of those things that you should do to YouTubers, because it's fucking hard out here, right? I've got like under 100 views on both of the videos I posted already, so I'm praying, actually manifesting again. Let's manifest. I'm manifesting that this video does incredibly well and I get shitloads of subscribers from it, and I reach the target audience that I've been trying to reach, and not the paedophiles that were obsessed with the 12-year-old version of me. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I will see you when I next post a video. Bye!